Good evening, everyone. Hope you're well. Welcome to Christmas in the Horsfall household. I didn't see it last week, so nothing to review. I guess if we look back a couple of weeks, though, hopefully you might have made a bit of money in the meantime. Opposing Fleetwood, who were lucky to get away with a win at home to Mansfield, but haven't won since then. We also put up or highlighted Daniel Nardiello moving to Bury as well, and he scored 2 in 3. So hopefully been a productive week for you. Mostly FA Cup this week, if we're looking for a quick rundown of games and potential bets. So there's one game in League Two which ordinarily I would pass over, but it does look like a good opportunity. Cheltenham head to Morecambe, and I just can't leave Cheltenham alone at the moment. Unbeaten in their last 7. I know they're not scoring goals, but a month ago we were talking about one of the worst defences in the division, and 2 clean sheets in their last 3 suggests that Mark Yates has done something to tackle that problem. As so often we see at this level, it is so difficult just to get both of those right. You're either scoring goals and conceding, or conceding and not scoring goals. I mean, we're seeing a similar thing, I guess, with York as well. We talked them up a couple of weeks ago about scoring goals, and they've had a couple of clean sheets on the bounce as well, but have found that the goals have dried up. So I'm sure there's progress to be made for Cheltenham. All is not lost just yet. They head to Morecambe this week, who are, I think, just a couple of wins in their last 9, including an 85th minute winner at Mansfield last weekend. That came at a cost, though. Kevin Ellison put his head where most normal people wouldn't put their heads, but paid the price. I think he's got a fractured eye socket or something like that. The driving force behind that Morecambe midfield and forward line, if you like. So easy to oppose, I think, Morecambe. They haven't won at home for the last 2 months either. And we're only talking, about a month and a half since Cheltenham beat Morecambe 3-0 at home on a midweek night as well. So Cheltenham probably go off a reasonably big price. I think you can still get odds against for the draw no bet as well. Were a bigger price earlier in the week, but that seems to have shortened in the last couple of hours. So Cheltenham draw no bet at Morecambe. If you're looking for a goal score angle on that as well, just make note that Jermaine McGlashan, who I'm not his biggest fan, but he was pushed up front alongside Byron Harrison last weekend. It seemed to work. They played really well at Southend, getting a 1-1 draw. I think Southend were lucky to get a point there. So you might want to, I think he'd probably go off around 4-1, 9-2. Which looks pretty good value for someone who might still be supporting Byron Harrison up front as well. So that's the League Two action. If we look towards the FA Cup, then not many kind of strong fancies. I'll talk you through a couple of bets that I'll probably have. It looks a good weekend to oppose Preston this weekend. They're going to miss Paul Gallagher, who was I guess been instrumental in their good run recently. He got sent off last weekend. Bailey White picked up a 5th yellow card as well. They could be missing Jack King as well, who may or may not have a foot injury. I'm not too sure about that. Some unconfirmed Twitter rumours. So missing a few. They head to Wycombe, who have got a pretty good kind of cup record. They've had taken some big scalps down there the last couple of years. No real reason to. I mean, their form isn't that good. They get a 90th minute equaliser away at Portsmouth in midweek, so to take some positives. Like I say, not on a good run, but that's where you can back them at 3-1. And I guess this is a cup, and anything can happen. So perhaps a small little interest in Wycombe at a big price, because I'm happy to oppose Preston. Probably Bristol Rovers as well. I mean, they're going off around 13-5 mark, 1 defeat in 8. A notoriously difficult side to get right, I suppose. They host Crawley at the weekend, who I guess you're putting a lot of faith in John Gregory working his magic kind of straight away. 1 goal in about 8 games, I think, and without a win in a few as well for Crawley, who I've tried to get right the last couple of weeks and haven't managed to do it. I think telling that they lost to Crewe last weekend, who had conceded goals for fun, I think, over the last month. And Crewe had 10 men for the vast majority of the second half, and Crawley still couldn't score. So you're more than welcome to back Crawley at a short price away at Bristol Rovers this weekend, but I'd rather be with the home side, I think, if I was with a team at all. Been talking up Northampton last couple of weeks. Still think they're a side to be with. They're going to miss Isaiah McLeod for the visit to Grimsby. This is a replay of a League Two playoff final that I attended with about 60,000 others in the late 90s. So not fond memories really. I was brought up in Northampton, so I've always had a soft spot for them. But they lost that playoff final 1-0. So chance to exact some revenge. And I think if you're of the opinion that Northampton are progressing, then it's only right that you should be interested in the 2-1 away at Grimsby, who are, I think, doing well in the conference. I'm not too sure how that form stacks up. If you do know, just let me know. But they've been playing FA Trophy games for the last couple of weeks, so perhaps Northampton are a good side to get on the right side of this weekend at about 2-1 to beat Grimsby as well. In terms of goal scorers, I was pretty short this week of options. It's really difficult. I've noticed there's more and more loans. It just seems the loan market seems to be jam-packed. Teams are kind of full of, not many teams have got no loans in them at all. So it's really difficult to try and understand who's available and who's not available. So two people that I think will definitely start. Adam McGurk is the first one for Burton. They head to Fleetwood. Talked up Fleetwood's defensive problems recently. He scored 8 in 21 appearances. Plus he scored a goal in the Burton's 3-2 win at Fleetwood earlier in the season. He's going to go off around the 5-2 mark. I thought he looked a pretty sound bet. And also Danny Philliskirk, who plays for Oldham. They host Mansfield. He scored 8 in 18. Plus he seems to have a particular knack of scoring in cup competitions. He's got 5 in cup competitions as well this season. At 7-4 he'll go off. But you stick those two in a double. I think it's Bet365. That pays around about 9.5-1. So they look two good shouts for me. Whatever you're backing, have a good weekend and I'll see you on the other side.